Could you share like some school experiences or like any stories or lessons that you've learned?
Having grown up in a Christian home with Christian parents, we had devotions every day. We had lots of prayer, went to Sunday school, went to church. So I, I was, very much involved in church and and Christianity and Jesus from an early age.
Did you go to a Christian school?
No, I didn't.
So you went to a public.
I went to a public school.
Where did you live?
In Oak Park. Most of the time I lived in Oak Park. And we went to a Lutheran church in Oak Park, Good Shepherd at the time, and I was confirmed there and married there. And I just have to say that it was through my home life and my parents who really, Jesus was very important to them, so of course he became very important to me.
Yeah. Is the church that you went to still here?
It's still here. It's changed a lot since the time I went there.
What's the name of it?
It's Good Shepherd. It's in Oak Park. And it was a newer church at the time, so they were just starting out with a lot of families, and it was like a second family for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ivy, and I was wondering if you could talk about like service that you did.
Service.
During,
Younger,
yeah.
as a child.
Not really, like just like over your life.
Okay, well, I can remember a good friend and I, it must have been about your age or maybe junior high age, and in the summer, we would go over to my church because she went to another church in the city, and we would go to and we'd ask our pastor what we could do to help, because we felt like we had all this time in the summer, we couldn't get a job, and that was really a fun experience to feel like at that time we could be used to help around.
What kind of stuff did you do?
Well, I'm trying to remember exactly what we did. I just know we volunteered, and I don't know if we made phone calls or maybe did some paperwork. I honestly can't remember, but I do remember he said you'll get an extra crown you'll get an extra star or an extra something in your crown in heaven or something like that. Yeah, he was grateful for at least the idea that he knew he could call on us.
That's nice. I was wondering, like, if you could share someone who has influenced you throughout your life.
Wow, there's so many people. I think I really, in addition to my parents and family, I think everybody I meet has something that I can learn. I mean, God has gifted everybody, made everybody unique, and it's always kind of fun to think, what can I learn from this person?
Yeah.
What does that person have that I can learn? So it's hard to even pinpoint or to specify just one other person. My parents, as I mentioned before, were probably the most influential, and I still think of things that they said. Like we said a prayer before we ate. We each had our own prayer that we prayed before dinner, or before a meal, every single time we ate. We each had our own prayer, and then when we left the table, and we each had our own prayer at the end, which I don't think is real common nowadays. I mean, my parents were just really good about things like that.
I pray before dinner, but I don't know. Usually my siblings aren't there all the time.
Well, it's a different world now. Yeah, we all sat down together, and it is very different now. So, and I'm not saying this was better. I'm just saying that was our routine. Yeah, at that time.
Yeah. When you say that you prayed your own prayer, do you mean like every time you ate you said one prayer every time?
Yes, the same prayer before, and I can't remember what I prayed, but my younger sister, I remember hers, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, and his mercy endureth forever."
Yeah.
I can remember her prayer, and I had two sisters and a brother, but I can remember hers, but I can't I should ask her if she remembers what mine was. Yeah, I think we each had a Bible. I think we usually prayed a Bible verse. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because that is from the Old Testament. Yeah.
So
You're good interviewers, by the way. You don't
Thank
just
you.
take an answer, you want to go deeper.
So how does like faith play like a role in your life, and like according to like your job and like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
and like a story about like a story that like kind of goes into that.
Wow. How does faith? Oh, wow. I- Being a grandmother and of course older than you are, a lot of things have already passed. Having been married, having had children, and raising the children, and seeing them through school, and then their marriages, their jobs, of course. I think probably it's really important to me that I see their faith grow in the grandchildren and see that they have a relationship with the Lord. That's really important to me. So that's a prayer that I have for them. And then I try to encourage that by sending them devotional books and things like that, like in their birthday cards or on Christmas. I'll be putting a devotional booklet in to just as a little reminder that I'm thinking about them in that way.
Do you have anything?
Maybe we're all finished.